Today I thought I'd try something a little different, and it's a herb called Fenugreek. Apparently lots and lots of health benefits from these. These are the seeds that I bought. That is a very big bag of seeds. That's 1.5 kilograms of seeds, and I got it from eBay and it only cost £8, so a pretty good deal. So what I've decided to do first is use some of these seeds to grow sprouts, because if you grow sprouts you can use them in salads, you can use them on sandwiches, you can even drop them into curries. Apparently they're very widely used in places like Asia. But going back to the health benefits that you get from these, apparently they help lower cholesterol and they help lower blood sugar, but they also contain magnesium, iron and fibre, as well as vitamins A, B and C, so definitely worth trying out. I would, however, before you try them, just have a look online, because I'm sure there's more benefits to these plants than what I've mentioned. So to start off, we'll grow some shoots, see what they're like. Apparently they have a slightly nutty flavour, but you have to soak them overnight, which is what we've already done. You can, however, just eat the seeds as they are, but you're better off lightly roasting them, otherwise they're going to taste a little bitter. And at some point we're going to soak some more seeds and we're going to put them outside in that container garden, and we're going to grow the full-size plants. But we're not doing that just yet, because these plants aren't very cold hardy, so we'll wait for a few more weeks and then we'll try some outside. But for now we just want to grow the shoots, see how we get on with those. So if you fancy trying some of these either as shoots or as full-size plants, just pop onto eBay, do a little search, and you can get, as you've seen, a very big bagful for only £8. So when you're growing them as shoots, it's pretty much same as what you do if you was growing microgreens. You only need quite a small tray. You don't need any compost either. But you do need to keep these sprouts in dark as well, and they'll germinate as yellow plants. And once they've got to a certain size, you can take that lid off, let the light get to them, and then they'll green up. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So first thing I'm going to need is some paper towel. We'll make it fit in there as best we can. Doesn't have to be perfect, as long as we've covered the bottom of that tray. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that. All we want to be doing is making sure that this paper towel is completely wet. But we don't want to overdo it at the same time. That's plenty. So we've given those a bit of a rinse, and now we're just going to distribute them over this paper towel. I'll put them all in to start with, and then I'll spread them out later. We are throwing them all over the kitchen. That is a lot of seeds. So now we've done that part, we're just going to evenly spread them out along the bottom. And that's the reason we're doing them so densely planted, so we can get lots of shoots out of one grow. And then next we're going to get another piece of that paper towel. Once again, make it fit as best we can. And we're just going to pop that over the top of those seeds. We want them covered because they need to be in dark. One should stick to the other now. And then I'm going to add a little bit more water. Without going too much over the top. We just want to make sure that there's plenty of moisture in there, and that will do. So now we just leave those to grow, but as I said, these really want to be kept in dark, so you can take a tray and just drop it over the top and let them do their thing. These should take about 3 days to germinate, and at that stage we'll come back and we'll see how they're getting on. So that's a really simple way to grow shoots from Fenugreek. So if you do fancy having a go at those at some point, you know exactly what to do with them. And these shoots can be chucked into things like sandwiches, salads, even curries. They are used quite a lot in hot dishes in places like Asia. But I think the health benefits that they offer are definitely worth giving them a go. And later on, we'll take some outside and we'll put them in some little planters and we'll grow the actual full-size plants. So when you've done this stage, just keep it indoors. They don't like the cold, as I've previously mentioned. So if you just put it on a windowsill, just anywhere out of the way, they'll germinate in just a few days. So that is the first herb that we decided to grow this year, but we are going to be doing quite a few more. I know some herbs are quite difficult to grow, meaning that the germination process seems to take forever. So we'll see how we go with that. Maybe we can come across some pre-grown plug plants from somewhere and we can start off a little container herb garden. And while you're trying to get these seeds to germinate, don't let them completely dry out. Just give them a little light spray just to keep that tissue moist, and you'll have your sprouts in no time. So we'll keep check on those, see how we get on with them. And as I said earlier, at some point we'll go outside when the weather's a bit warmer and we'll have a go at growing full-size plants in containers. But I think as far as herbs go, it's definitely worth giving these a try. And I am going to be setting up more herbs as we go into summer. I haven't decided exactly which ones I'm going to grow this year, but we're going to get a few on go, because they do offer a lot of health benefits, so it's always worth giving them a go. Anyway, thank you so much for being part of the channel, really appreciate it. And if you want to see what happens to these in a couple of days and what else we're going to be sowing this week, then please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you real soon. Take care.